Today, my guest is Nkechi Onyegasi. Nkechi Onyegasi has been working as a family nurse practitioner since 2013. She is also a mom of 3. Her struggles with maintaining a healthy lifestyle while leading a busy life as a mom and a full-time nurse practitioner, coupled with the experiences of her patients, motivated her to dig further into ways she can help herself, her patients, live an optimally healthy life. She obtained a certificate of advanced education from the Obesity Medicine Association and focused her doctoral study on enhancing obesity management in primary care. She completed her doctorate of nurse practitioner in December 2022 and relocated to Texas because she was a military spouse and continued to help her patients here make strides towards becoming the healthiest versions of themselves. Let's meet Nkechi. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Gaby U Show. And today I have Nkechi Onyegasi. Welcome, Nkechi, to the Gaby U Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Gaby.
Yeah, so glad to have you here today. So I'm going to go straight into my Gaby U icebreakers questions. Okay, this is a special one. So the first thing I want to ask you is, what is your favorite food?
That's a hard one because I have so many favorites, but lately I have been obsessed with breakfast, brunch, anything with eggs.
Oh, okay.
Eggs anyway, scrambled, omelets, hollandaise. Just give it to me. Oh. Which reminds me, we need to get together for breakfast or brunch sometime.
Yes, we need to.
That's my fun thing, just exploring different brunch places and just getting to have different.
Yes, that would be great to meet up, because I know that people know a little thing between me and Nkechi that, you know, she was here in Texas and then she moved to, is it Mississippi you moved to?
Mm-hmm.
And you were there for like 4 years?
Well, 4 years.
Yes.
Yeah. 5.
Yeah, and then she's back now in Texas, closer to me again. So we have been trying to figure out how we can catch up again. So maybe that breakfast, brunch. Yeah, I love eggs too, you know, as long as it's not the runny one. I don't like the runny. It has to be well cooked. I don't, what do they call that? Runny, sunny egg?
Sunny side over, yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. But any type of other ones, I'm fine with it. All right, that is awesome. So the other thing I want to ask you, what is your favorite quote?
My favorite quote since I've been a child, since I've been in, I think it was elementary school, I heard this quote and it's just stuck with me. It says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's something that I've kind of just gone by. Ultimately, I know God decides what happens in our lives, but I do always try to plan, just make a plan ahead for the future and, and then leave it all to God, whatever happens, but at least we have something going on.
Yes, that is a very good quote, because I think too, I look into that in my life, because sometimes it's like, oh yeah, we'll just leave everything, let's see how it goes. But, you can do your own part, and I've always shared in my podcast that I'm a woman of faith and I let God to do the rest too. Although sometimes we make all these our plans and it doesn't come out the way, it's just like you guys will hear in my first episode for this season, I shared my story of me having baby number 5, which wasn't what I expected. I had all my plans that I was doing and, things happen. But again, you always want to have the plan, and it might not always work that way, but at least you make some plans and you can always modify. It's modification, not saying that, oh, I don't have any plans. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. All right. So the next thing I want us to go into, I want you to share with me things that what that has made you to be this woman today. Is it from your career, your childhood, work, anything? Just like go right as much as you can give us today. Yeah.
I don't know, where do I start?
Start from A.
I mean, there's so many. I am the youngest of 6 siblings. I got to watch my siblings succeed, and I just knew I wasn't competing with them. I just had this drive to be like them or even be better than them. So they set a good path for me to want to succeed. And then coming to the United States, I came to the United States after high school. I think I was probably about 10 or 11 when I started saying that I'm going to school in the United States. I didn't know how that would happen. They had all been to the US before I was born on vacation. And then after I was born, it never happened again. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm going there. And, I just worked towards it, took the SATs, and I was able to get accepted here, get a scholarship that helped me go get my undergrad, get my nursing degree. And I came with a student visa, and you have certain speculations as a student visa. You have a year to work, and then you have to either get a higher degree or get a job that will sponsor you. And that I'm very blessed that I had that opportunity to go ahead and just dive into my NP career right away. I went into NP school, and I feel like that was just the best thing ever, because becoming a nurse practitioner has just opened so many doors for me, opened so many avenues for me. So, I mean, I would say coming to the United States, becoming more of my own person, because before I came here, I was very, very shy, not very, not very outspoken. But coming here kind of just opened me up, and becoming a nurse practitioner has allowed me to do so much for my patients. So those are the key points, and then motherhood. Motherhood just brings out a whole different side of you. You just I did get to go to NP school before getting married and having kids, so I have so much respect for people that go into school with kids and all. I didn't I was able to focus solely on school then, but being a mother and working full time and still trying to stay healthy, keep my kids healthy, those have all shaped me into the person I am today. Just trying to focus on how to tackle all of that, how to work, how to be a mom, be available for your kids, and how to stay healthy, take care of myself, so I can take care of them. Yeah, lots of events there.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, I mean, talking about having kids and going to school. Yeah, that's what I kind of did. Yeah, it's, one have to, there's something about, like you're talking, what motherhood can do to you. It's like, if you can handle motherhood, it feels like you can handle a lot of things.
Absolutely. Seriously, I remember having my first kid and wondering how, because I just was not a morning person. I literally was that person that would snooze my alarm until I could snooze no more. And
Not
then
anymore.
I was like, how would I wake up to feed my kid? And my kid literally didn't even cry. She would just, make little noises, and I was like up immediately, wide awake, ready. That motherly instinct just kicks in, and you're just doing literally superhuman powers. You're doing things.
Oh yeah.
Doing things that you didn't think that you could do, tackling, multitasking, doing so many things at the same time. And that's, 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, and you just keep going.
Yeah. There are things that it's something that you will feel like, how, that's why you say sometimes, as much as we need to plan, but sometimes again, when we are planning and looking at like, how am I going to do this? This is the kind of person I am. Girl, when that time comes, somehow
Yeah.
God is going to show you, you will be able to do it.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I remember talking about that, saying that you're not a morning person and then having your kid and you are jumping up with every little noise. This is something that happened to me when I was in the hospital. I think on my second baby, I had a C-section. And of course, with C-section, you're having pain and all this, you had to move around. And my baby was in the crib there in the hospital. And, I don't know, she used to have this, I don't know what you call it, projectile vomiting, like, I don't know, she just like threw up and I could see, I just jumped up and went to, my husband was looking at me like, I thought you were in pain. How did you, I forgot whether I had pain or not. Of course, I felt it later.
Yes, that
So,
instinct.
yeah, so that is the thing with us, when you become a mother, there are other people depending on you. And it's all of these things I've talked in my show a lot of the times that some of the things that we do for ourselves, we're not doing it just because for ourselves, because of the people around you, your children, you don't know how you are impacting them, healthy mama, healthy kids most of the times, okay? If they are not they will eventually get it. That's why helping ourselves both mentally, physically, and spiritually is so much needed for ourselves because hey, yeah, people now, it's not just you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So one of the things I was gonna ask you as talking about this transition coming to America, you said you came in when you were in high school. That was when you came to America?
After high school.
After high school. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so pretty much you're getting into college. So is it I know you went into nursing. Is it one of the professions you've always thought about doing? What kind of
Healthcare, we Nigerians, we all want to be doctors, right?
right from the tomb. From the womb, I mean. Yeah.
Majority of us, healthcare was a joy to me. Medical school would have been ideal for sure. But I came in here, thankfully my sister lived here, my brother-in-law, they were already here by the time I came in, and they were like, listen, medical school is pretty expensive. Nursing may be a better route. So I'm glad that they gave me that advice because, you don't know much about nursing. Prior to coming here, I didn't. And I went for it, and I absolutely have no regrets whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I consider myself very fortunate to be in a profession that prioritizes caring as much as nursing does. So yeah, I'm very thankful that I went that route for sure.
Yes. And I think we kind of share that same story because for me, I came in here, I was already 21. I was done with college pretty much. I already got my first degree and it was microbiology, and I came in and we were talking about healthcare, too. Microbiology, I was like, okay, maybe it's better to deal with humans instead of microbes, and this was one of the things I had in mind. I thought of medical school too, but it's kind of the same path, like, well, you have kids now, money-wise, all that. So, and this is one thing I share with the people, even when I used to be a student, an instructor with my students, I used to tell them that, this profession in the nursing, you have to really like it. You have to be ready to listen to people vulnerable, sick. If you are in for it, if you are in it for money, because of course you say healthcare, nursing, nurse practitioner, they pay us really good, but you really have to like it too. Otherwise you will just be the angry nurse practitioner, angry nurse.
No patient needs that, seriously.
Yeah, no patient. Yes, exactly. And for me, truthfully, when I got into it, it was more for job security, like, okay, this will be a job security, But when I got into it, I started as a nurse aide first. I'm like, let me put my leg in the water to see if I even like to deal with sick people. And when I was going deep into it, going to my program, I found out that, okay, this is more than job security. You really have to like this job. And, I liked it, it worked for me and I could stay. And I know a lot of us that are immigrants that we come here, in Nigeria too. And, we have this thing of, what are the top, what are the kind of degrees or career you want to go. And, you have all these things your family might tell, this is where you should go. But at the end of the day, it's something that you will have to kind of like. Yeah, I mean, I have some people, they will finish the whole thing and they divert to something else, which is okay. People change. There are things that happen. I know they said they only have 3 professions that we Nigerians, we want. They say have to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, right? Those are the 3. But all has changed. There's so many options that I mean, there are so many ways we can go about it. And the main thing is that yes, you get the advice, you can go through it, but you can know when you are in it if it is going to work for you. And because I had in the nursing school, which you probably have experienced, that you start out with all these people, and by the end of the day, half of the people are not there anymore. It's either they lost interest or they
That's actually much more than half in my program. Yes, it was pretty brutal.
Oh wow.
Not so much losing interest, but it was a very tough program. You make 2 seasons, you're out, and going from a regular anatomy physiology where knowledge is all you need. Once you know, once you study, you can pass the test, right? And going from that to nursing, where it goes beyond knowledge, it embodies critical thinking and all. So you don't just need the answer, you need the best answer, because you have several right answers. So yeah, that was definitely a challenge for sure for most people coming into nursing. So
yeah, it's hard. It's brutal. It's not easy. I think I saw one place it said is one of the in Guinness Book of Record. I don't know, maybe where I saw is that BSN is one of the hardest, I don't know, degree or something. I don't even know how they put it. But yeah, it's brutal. I was even surprised that when I finished my RN school, I was like, oh, I'm not going back to school anymore. I'm done. And my kids, I can remember them jumping on the bed like, Mommy's done with school, Because of course, when you're going to nursing school, you have a life. And the instructors, they tell you that too. I'm like, okay, you guys don't need to tell us. I think we figured it out. We're not going to have any life anymore. And 1 year later, I found myself registering for NP schooling. Like, I didn't get enough.
Yeah. That was me after NP school. After bachelor's, I knew I was going to go back, but after NP school, I was like, I'm done.
Yes.
And here I was, just prior to the pandemic, I was like, I think I need to get my doctorate, and and then I started applying, and then the doctor, and then I got accepted. The same time I got accepted was when the pandemic was just starting, and then I was pregnant for my 3rd. I was like, should I do this? Can I even do this? But thankfully I was able to finish that up. But it's just crazy.
Wow, all those 3 things at the same time. Like the thing that has never happened before, pandemic, and then pregnancy. Were you planning pregnancy that time?
No.
Wow, those are big. DMV program, pandemic, like all these are pregnancy. Woo. I can't even imagine. Yeah, it's tough. And I was like, how are we gonna do this? Like, okay, we're just gonna keep going. Oh, I'm glad you were able to get through with it and get it done. Yeah, it's one of those things that you kind of cannot tell. Like you just say, okay, let's brave it. And this is what I tell people, that if you have something you want to do, you've had this in mind, just go ahead and do it. Because the thing is that if you don't start something, how do you know to modify if you don't even start? And it's something I always say, that I'd rather be in a place where I will say I have tried something and it didn't work, than being in that place saying, oh, I had tried.
What if I had you know,
Yeah, it's not a good place to be in that what if zone, right? Want to be like, yeah, I tried that, it didn't work, let's move on, trying something else now, we have to just try stuff and get into it. Yeah, the nursing, we're not trying to scare you, those of you that want to go into nursing school or NP school, or, but it's just to tell you this, like, it's doable. Me and Nkechi, we don't have two heads. It can be done. Okay, if it's something you want to do, go ahead and do it. We have great mentors around. I could be your mentor if you want me to be your mentor. Nkechi can be a good mentor too if you have questions about how to go through nursing school, nurse practitioner school with having kids and babies. I think each of my degree, I was always pregnant. I always have a degree for one of the kids. I give them a name. I think it's just my last two boys. They didn't go to school. I wasn't going. My friends would say, "Oh, this one's, what do they have? Are you going to get your doctorate for this one?" And I'm like, "No, this one, we're not going to school." So it's challenging, but it could be done, with support, great support from family, friends, some key mentors in your life. It can be done. Yeah. So what would you say you are most proud as a woman today?
I definitely am proud of my profession, if you can't tell already. I am proud to be a nurse practitioner. I'm proud to be able to provide the care that I provide to my patients. I am very proud to be a mother to 3 beautiful children. I am proud to be a wife of a Navy veteran. We've gotten to move around to different states. I'm proud that he has been committed to, I'm proud to have been able to support him as he pursues his career as a Navy officer. Just that is, I think those are definitely my top 3 for sure.
Yes, that is amazing. It's not easy being a wife of a Navy person. I know it's you have to give all that support. My brother too, he's a Navy veteran, and I know how he has to travel and all this stuff, and it's like not easy. So it's definitely something to be proud of, to be able to give that support, and also being a mom is a big thing. I know a lot of people that's actually waiting on that dream to be a mom, and it's not something we should take for granted.
And I just consider myself fortunate because sometimes it's you're either one thing, you're either a career woman or you're a mom that stays at home. So just being able to do both. I'm still able to give my kids the time and attention that they deserve, and just watch them grow and become just growing to their selves, their personalities are just so just watching that and still being able to step out and pursue your career. That's not something that I take for granted at all.
Actually, it's not both. Actually, try to be a wife, a mother, and a career woman. 3 things. To be a wife is also another thing too. Because really, to be truthful about it, there are some people that have broken marriages because of their maybe so much thing with their career that maybe the husband doesn't understand, or they are just, and they have had their marriage is broken and they could not.
Or even raising children.
Raising the children too.
On the marriage too.
Yes.
Because don't always agree on how to, but thankfully I've had a very supportive husband that is very engaged in parenting as well, and that's something that we don't butt heads on. We're pretty much usually in sync when it comes to how to raise our kids. So I'm thankful for that.
That is very, very powerful, because putting those 3 things together to make it work. And I know I have some friends that are single, that they are very big in the career and everything, and it's like, oh, how if I have a husband, I hope he will be able to understand, that this my career is very important to me. And, I was like, well, you will find a man, there was a man out there that will be able to understand, because this could be some issues with some people with dating. They could be, not having somebody that understands that how much his career means to her, and how, when to have kids, and how would they be helping, and all that stuff. So those are things that can really cause strain if there is no good management in that area. And I know some people stay single because they just feel that they will never be able to handle that.
Yeah.
They choose to stay single, maybe not really choose, but it just
it's easier because it can be a lot more complicated.
Yeah.
So
sometimes it's sacrifice, you just have to. And yeah. So what are some encouraging words you want to give our listeners today, like as we want to round up this podcast today?
What I tell my patients, especially my patients that are in my weight management program, tell them how important it is to love yourself first. We wanna love ourselves, celebrate ourselves, no matter where we find ourselves. We may not be where we feel like we need to be. We may not be at our goal weight, or we may not have our career may not be where it needs to be, but we need to first of all love ourselves where we are now, and work towards where we need to be. Take care of ourselves. As women in general, we tend to put other people ahead of ourselves. We're caregivers to parents, or caregivers to children, or spouses, or even friends. Just people around us. We rush to take care of everybody, and we don't take care of ourselves as we should. So I think it's really important that we make time for ourselves, just even if it's just spending a few minutes deep breathing, doing some mindfulness exercises, relaxing meditation, taking a walk in the park, going out in nature, just finding ways to love ourselves and reconnect, or just taking yourself out to brunch.
Yes, that's easy. Just me time.
We need to love ourselves, celebrate ourselves, and just be proud of ourselves, because we accomplish so much every day. So I think it's worth acknowledging.
Yeah, and that is the thing too. In all this thing you said, also being grateful. The how do you say, mind of gratitude, because I know a lot of the times we are looking at things we don't have, but we have so much things that we have right now we can be grateful for. For example, talking about your patients with weight loss issues. They might have all these bodies, self-image of their body, don't like their body, or oh, look at me, look at this, I'm not losing the weight, or if they are losing the weight, like what else. But sometimes also, we call it non-scale victories. There are other things you can be grateful for, like, okay, now I have lost some, I can fit a little bit in my dress, I can breathe better, I can have a little more, my energy has increased, even though I have not reached my goal weight, some of those things. And I have a family that's supportive of my thing I'm doing. There's so many things around this. A lot of mindset too, how you put your mind into different things, and it's very easy to dwell on that negative part. It's very easy. It's
very, very, we get so hard on ourselves. We are the worst critics of ourselves, and it's so easy to just talk down to ourselves, and not appreciate how far we've come, or appreciate who we are, or what we're doing. So we just need to love ourselves and take care of ourselves.
Yes, that's true. We have really strong critics to ourselves. I know sometimes there's One time, one of my daughters, I don't know what she did. She was like, yeah, I'm just stupid. I'm just stupid. I'm like, why are you saying that? Could you say that to your friend? If you tell that to your friend, what do you think she will feel like? She's like, well, she will not feel happy. I was like, so why are you saying it to yourself?
Yeah.
It's like, you can't say that to somebody else because you're going to hurt their feelings. But why would we say it to yourself?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. We gotta love ourselves. Yeah. So can you share with us, are you doing any projects, any special thing we need to know about? I know you are big in the weight loss management thing. Can you tell me more about that? Or, so that
So I talked about my doctorate. I finished that program last December. My specialization was in obesity management. I did an obesity project that I had really great results. I went ahead and had it published, and I went ahead and shared it at a nurse practitioner conference that happened recently. And I am very fortunate to get to continue my weight management at my family practice that I'm working at now, here after I moved here to Texas a few months ago. So that's mostly what I'm doing, just taking care of providing regular family practice care. And I tell my patients, hey, if you're interested in weight management, you can join my program. And I have quite a few patients on there. So I had other aspirations post-doctorate, maybe to even partner up with an obesity drug company and help speak at present more, but I'm taking it slow right now. I'm just focusing on work and focusing on the little bun, the fourth bun in the oven that I have.
Yeah, yeah, those things can take a lot of time. So
yeah, that
priorities.
is a project for sure. So I'm focusing on creating a healthy life and just growing my practice. Those are my priorities right now.
Okay. Yes. And those things, they will come, and it's taking one step at a time. I'm glad, it's knowing what you're capable. Yeah, you have all these plans, but we got to take care of your body first. And get that healing process after having a baby, all that, and then we say, okay, let's now venture into what next. This is for me. After having my baby, I took 1 year. I didn't do any podcasts. I was thinking I wasn't even going to do any podcasts anymore, but I just thought that, it's something that I enjoy doing. It's like, I need to start. It's 1 year now. I think I'm good now. I can restart. But yeah,
back to it.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm going to come back. So yeah, that is an amazing thing you're doing, because we have too many people dealing with weight issues, and there are so many options out there that we can do to be more healthier and get that weight off. And so if the service ever something that you guys are needing to do, you can contact Nkechi, even me too. I'm also in that field. That's why I was excited when I saw you focusing on weight management. That's because that's one of my big areas too. I talk about holistic weight loss as well. So that's amazing that you're doing that and be able to have your paper published. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons I consider myself blessed. Just there's definitely a need. There's definitely a need. So
yes.
Glad that we are able to step up and fill that need and
yes,
provide that care.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Is there anything else that we need that you haven't shared that you have in mind?
No.
All right. Just want to make sure we cover all the bases. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Nkechi, for coming today. I really appreciate your time. I know we've been trying to meet up. This is our first meetup by Zoom, but we have to meet up in person. It's very, very soon. So glad you're back to Texas. And so everybody, this is the end of our podcast today. And before I end it, I want to finish it up with my favorite quote from Maya Angelou that says, "When you know better, you do better." All right, everybody, that's it. See you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me, Gabby.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming.